Today I'm going to be talking about why I'm going to be miserable forever. This is not to say I am continuously miserable in the sense that I am miserable at every waking moment of my life, nor am I saying that I am guaranteed to be miserable for the rest of my life, but this is a realization I had relatively recently that if I don't change the way that I think about life, the way that I carry on with just the daily living moments and also the bigger picture view of how I see my life, I'm going to be remaining in this misery unless I really make a change in the way that I live. For starters, I'd like to say that I've lived a pretty good life objectively. I've never had to suffer in any significant physical way. I have never had any major surgeries, never big health defects. My parents have always been doing very well in every aspect of the way. We've had a couple of hiccups in my life, but overall, I've never had to starve, never had to go under the knife for anything significant, never had to suffer through anything extremely negative pertaining to my family, personal life. I do think that while you can have the various cornerstones of your objective life be very positive, you could still be miserable. And you could start calling me out in the comments and say, you live in the United States, you went to a good school, you've had a great job, you've continuously had cool and fun jobs, therefore you don't deserve to be miserable or you should not be miserable. I have very mixed feelings about this. I do think that pain and misery is somewhat relative. I think a lot of it has to do with this idea of chasing something, living in this framework that technically doesn't exist. I think we're stuck in this mindset recently where you feel like there is going to be an end all be all solution to the emptiness, the fulfillment that you want to pursue, the happiness, the set of conditions that you think will need to be achieved for you to feel a certain way, when in reality those conditions don't exist. Those conditions do exist in the sense that the things you might be hoping for are very tangible. You might think that once I hit a certain net worth, or my title becomes X, or if I win over this girl, or blah 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 are all set, I'm going to be happy. All those things are probably very probable, if not possible. If not, there were probably things a month ago, 6 months ago, a year ago that you've hoped to achieve as of now that you have achieved. My guarantee is that even as you achieve those things, your fulfillment is nowhere to be fulfilled. And if anything, the cap or the new goal that you've set for yourself is much more higher than the ones that you've set before. That is just human nature. If we continue to live in this view that we hit these conditions and once we hit those conditions, everything will be fine, you will live in an endless cycle of hitting those conditions, setting new conditions, and continuing to move forward. I'm not going to ignore the fact that that is probably the habit or the set of habits of highly successful people. If you don't continuously have something that drives you or have goals that you think you need to meet to live a certain standard of life or be happy in a certain way, you're probably not going to push yourself forward. The dual-edged sword side of this is that you will never be happy, you'll never feel fulfilled. And in some ways, the flip way of saying that is you will continuously feel like a failure because even as you achieve these milestones, there will be new milestones, and the perspective you have on life, the feelings you have towards your successes are majority dictated by the fact that you're continuously having new goals and new achievements to achieve. That is certainly how I have felt recently, and maybe I have always felt, and I can't really blame anyone except myself for that. I have seen people blame society, this highly paced economy, the job market, everyone being so successful, or at least displaying their success on social media. You can blame your parents or the way that you've been raised or the people that you choose to surround yourself with. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to mentality and the way that you view life and your inability to seize the day or live in the moment and continuously look for the next big thing or the next big step to satisfy you. That is definitely all on me. I know this is all on me because when I am busy enough or I'm so busy that I don't have time to think about the next big thing or where I stand in life comparison to others, I don't have these thoughts. I am not miserable. I'm not filled with this idea, this notion that I am not there yet and never will be there when I'm busy, when I'm occupied, when I'm truly living in the moment, when I love the people that I'm with, when I'm spending my life to the fullest. But in the times that I am emptily mind wandering, going into these deep thought spirals, I'm not keeping myself busy or fulfilled or satisfied. That's when my mind goes towards these things and I wonder, why have I not achieved milestone X by this time? Why am I stuck in this limbo? Why have I not achieved anything? When in the most objective way, and perhaps the most cocky way possible, I have achieved a lot of things, and I am still only 24. I don't want to remain static. I don't want to say that I've achieved so much, therefore I don't need to achieve any more. I think people are naturally driven by accomplishment, and it's good to have newly refined sets of goals and milestones to look forward to and to work towards. You also need different switches of pace in life and to continuously improve on yourself, to surround yourself with higher quality people, and also encourage the ones around you to do better. But this never ending cycle of goal setting and feeling like you're never going to be fulfilled is definitely a mindset thing that I really need to get out of. And I'm realizing, especially looking at the past 2.5 years of being out of college and looking at the different paths that I've taken and the steps that I've taken towards life, that no matter what I do, unless I change this mindset of I need to be part of the next big thing, I need to be ever more successful, I'm going to be miserable, endlessly miserable. I'm being very honest in saying that I am currently miserable. And that's not to take away from the excitement that I've shared on this channel about the different opportunities that I've been part of. I am very excited for the things that I'm doing right now. And there are sparks and moments where I go, wow, I've really accomplished a lot. There's a lot that I've done, and it's only going to set me up for the future that is also filled with excitement and achievement. But those are just moments. And I would argue if I had to tally the number of times that I feel a positive way and tally the number of times that I feel a negative way about my life, right now the negatives outweigh the positives. Obviously, you guys only see the positive sides of my life, the updates that I have on my career progression and how well I've been doing, the numbers on my YouTube channel, and even just the smiles that I put on. That is not to say all those things are fake, and I think I tend to be, in a weird way, an optimistic person. I am also a very arrogant person and a cocky person. I think that I'm going to do well objectively. But feeling-wise, I can't not admit that there is a certain level of misery that is surrounded by the fact that I think there's always more to be achieved. I'm not at where I want to be. And if I keep this up, I'm going to be at my deathbed looking back when I'm 80 or 90 thinking, wow, I've lived a miserable life, constantly chasing after things that don't exist or can't be fulfilled or do exist, but once I get there, it's going to be the next step, and just waste life as I feel like I'm doing now. So as the slogan of this channel has always been, I'm really trying to live life to the fullest, focus in the moment, not have worldly desires and things that I've been prioritizing so much dictate my happiness, and realize that life just moves on. I think the past 2.5 years, and especially COVID season, has made me realize that things also don't go according to plan, so there's no point of overthinking and constantly thinking about how is life going to go and how is my life adhering to the plan that I've set up. Long story short, I really think that I'm going to try to make use of the time that I have with the people that I care about, the things that I care about, and a little ahead of time. And I'm going to make a 2022 resolutions video, but really try to spend the next year being a lot more, not just introspective, but holistic in my approach of how I see life and what truly makes it happy. Because I think if I keep going down this road of constantly chasing something that will never satisfy me, I'm going to spend the next 60 years being miserable and really not accomplishing what I actually want to achieve, which is a life of fulfillment and satisfaction for myself and those around me. Thank you guys for watching what I hope was a relatively real video. I think my thoughts were just everywhere because I was trying to be very real and talk about what I really wanted to talk about. I will come back next week with a much more lighthearted but informative and fun video and an update on where I've been doing and how my startup work is going and as always, I will see you guys I will see you guys next time. Let's go.